Hello and welcome to Money, 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 your weekly personal finance date with me, Sudhir Pai. 2017 was a watershed year for the Indian real estate sector. Demonetization, a continuous crackdown on black money and the setting up of a real estate regulator are defining moments in the property market's history in this country. The expectation now is that the sector will operate with higher levels of transparency once the impact of these tectonic changes fully settles in. So, what is the outlook for the real estate market in the year 2018? Is the sector at a turning point? Will property values start rising from here on? And is there any sense in looking at realty as an investment option in the weeks and months ahead? Well, this is the real estate special edition of Money, Money, Money. And joining me for the conversation today are Sudhir Pai, CEO Magicbricks, Anuj Puri, Chairman Anarok Property Consultants, and Sameer Jasuja, co-founder of Prop Equity. Gentlemen, great to have all of you on the show. Wish you a very happy and prosperous 2018 to start off with. Now, I'm going to start with what seemed to be a bit of a, dire, big bearish view that came in. And allow me to just read the quote. It's from an Ambit report, and a report which came out in towards the end of November. Now, Ambit says, and I'm quoting, the quote is going to come up for you, that their base case scenario is a hard landing for the residential real estate market in India, driven by falling land prices. Ambit goes on to say that the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code could trigger distressed sales of hard assets in calendar year 2018. As land prices fall, real estate developers are likely to launch cheaper properties over calendar years 2019 and 20. As cheaper properties hit the market, developers who own unsold inventory could enter financial distress. Furthermore, homeowners who are repaying their mortgages, which are far bigger than the prevalent prices of their property, could start defaulting on those home loans as well. Okay, so that's as bearish as you can get, but let's ask our panel of experts what their view is. Anuj, I'll open with you. Your thoughts?
I think, Suri, first let me wish you and all your viewers a very happy 2018. And, as you were reading those quotes, I was thinking to myself, we've already had a hard landing. I'm not so sure beyond this, how hard is it that is going to get in. Clearly, some data points, if you were to look at it, they are going to be perhaps a little bit contradictory to the statement that you may have read earlier. The first is, in the last 6 quarters, every quarter, sales has been more than the new launches. As a inventory has started to decline rapidly over the last 6 quarters. The second is that your number of launches have come to almost a fraction. It used to be at the beginning of 2015 about 60,000 units a quarter. It's come down to about 20,000 units a quarter. The third is that yes, property prices have come down, will come down, but if you peel the onion, Surbi, and check it out, you will see is that they are coming down because the efficiency in the real estate product that the developer is now producing is bringing the overall ticket price to much more reasonable levels. By that, what I mean is that today, people in Bombay, in Bangalore, in Gurgaon are building compact 1-bedroom, 1.5-bedroom, 2-bedroom. As a result of which the property price or the overall ticket has come much more reasonable. Now, this can be construed differently that the property prices will come down in 2019 and 20 going forward. It's actually not that. Per square foot price has still remained almost stagnant. Maybe 7 to 11% over the last 12 months it's come down, but largely remained there only. Okay,
fair enough. Let me also get in a view on that from Magicbricks. Sudhir, I was looking at the Magicbricks property index, and here it says that the index actually saw an appreciation in prices in the second half of 2017 in certain select cities. I think it's talking about only the tier 1 cities. But will it tie in with what Anuj just said, that maybe it's the fact that, the sizes are going down?
Hi, first of all, a very happy New Year, Surbi, to you and to your viewers. We are seeing much better trends right now, which are more conducive to a stronger 2018 than 2017. In addition to what Anuj said, we are seeing a strong uptick in consumer demand as well. So on our website, we are seeing anything between a 30 to 60% increase in the number of property seekers based on the city you're looking at. Cities like Hyderabad are showing about 65% increase in the number of property seekers in Q4 of this year compared to Q4 of last year. You know, and Bombay is also showing strong trends, followed by Pune and NCR, and then Bangalore and Chennai. So yes, I mean, you can buy real estate today at more or less the same prices that were prevailing in 2015, maybe 2014. Prices have been stagnant, which means you know, it's become far more affordable. There is an abundant amount of ready-to-move-in stock, which makes delivery risks almost non-existent. And this uptick in consumer demand is leading us to believe that, yes, 2018 should be much better than 2017.
Okay, so that's again an optimistic view coming in. Let's also get in Sameer Jasuja into the conversation. Sameer, what's your reading of the situation and where we stand today in January 2018?
First of all, I'll also like to wish all the viewers a very happy and prosperous new year. As far as real estate is concerned, I would really like to break this down into under construction segment and ready to move in properties. As far as the under construction segment is concerned, we've gone through a serious amount of pain over the last 2.5 years. As my other panelists mentioned, that market I still feel will continue to suffer a little bit more. I think the pain is going to continue for the whole of 2018 over there as well. In my view, first of all, ready properties are going to be the flavor of the year. Ready properties are going to witness a large amount of absorption, and there is where you're going to see a little bit of appreciation. I won't say very much, but definitely you will see some uptake in that segment across the country.
Okay, gentlemen, so we're nicely set for the next round of you know, this particular episode, and that's the critical question. If the market is offering interesting deals right now, if you know, the whole scenario is looking fairly optimistic from a buyer's standpoint, then should you be looking at the real estate market from an investment point of view? And if yes, then which are the areas, which are the zones? What can you expect in terms of pricing? The conversation continues after the break.
आपका पैसा जब पैसा कमाता है तो अच्छा लगता है ना? अब आपका हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस भी कमाए तो हेल्थ वॉलेट बी विंश्योर्ड.
Welcome to Gabon, an African hub that is a gateway to the region. More than 40 years of institutional stability driving the business environment. Established special economic zones, world-class ports and infrastructure facilities. We are open for investments. Gabon Golly.
Sure, we haven't done this pose before.
Okay, Google, show me my sunset pictures.
We shape intelligent solutions for buildings. We shape the future with safe and efficient energy solutions. We shape a connected world of expanding possibilities with our devices and architecture. We shape a better world through our technology for people and the planet.
Toshiba.
India's gem and gold jewelry industry came together for the first ever industry summit in New Delhi. Watch episode 2 of DJ EPC India Gold and Jewelry Summit at these times only on CNBC TV 18.
Presented by GJ EPC.
Welcome to Gabon, an African hub that is a gateway to the region. More than 40 years of institutional stability driving the business environment. Established special economic zones, world-class ports and infrastructure facilities. We are open for investments. Gabon Golly.
Welcome back. You're watching Money, 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 and this is the property special. The question we are asking our panel of experts is that will you make money if you invest in property this year? Maybe not this year itself, but then what are the caveats and how long before your investment starts bearing fruit? Anuj, so I think the takeaway from the first round of our discussion has been very clear that yes, new launches have slowed down a little bit. There are a lot more inquiries, so buyers, who've been on the fence, they're out there to look for deals. The question is now, what projection can you give us in terms of pricing? So if you just broadly break it down into some of the major geographical zones, what do you expect on price trends this year?
It's a very interesting question, Surabhi. So you'll have to break it down into 2 or 3 segments, commercial, residential, and then others. Commercial doing exceptionally well. Surabhi, it's just fantastic in terms of the leasing, in terms of the growth in the rentals that we've seen between 1 to 3% every quarter. And that's where you're seeing a lot of the private equity, whether it's Blackstone, Brookfield, GIC, number of other sovereign funds wanting to get in to that. So from an investor point of view, offices remains beautiful. You get 8-9% yield rental returns and corresponding to the rental growth, the capital appreciation. On the residential, as an investor, I would say is if you are a mid to long-term investor, by that I mean is that you have a horizon of 2 to 4 years, then it's a good time to buy in. If you are a speculator and you want to exit the property by buying today in January 2018 and thinking that I'm going to exit by end of this year, then still it is not the right time to get in there. I feel is that most of this calendar year you will see flat prices, except as Samir said is that in the completed inventory of good developers, good product, you're going to see a marginal appreciation. But we're not seeing that through at least the first 3 quarters of this year, any dramatic increase in the price other than where you get onto the completed inventory and on the office front.
Okay, all right. So that's, one projection with respect to how price trends could pan out from here. So, Sudhir, let's ask you this. I mean, you were saying that a lot of people are showing interest and, are willing to look out for deals. From an investor standpoint, which is perhaps a better market to look at? Would you say better deals are going to be found in NCR, where there's still some stress, where inventory levels are still high? Or should one look at the southern markets?
If you ask me from an investment point of view, there's definitely good opportunity for end users right now to go bottom fishing, right? So there are deals to be had, and I think the deals are there across most of the cities. And if an end user actually kept a longer time frame, I'm saying 5 years or longer, there is no reason that if a property, if bought well, shouldn't appreciate by 12% or more on a CAGR basis in this kind of a time frame. I think there are opportunities like Anuj pointed out in commercial real estate, which has been doing really well. There are some opportunities in land as well. And then there are very interesting niche opportunities. For example, there are banks auctioning properties at pretty compelling prices. So for a slightly sophisticated end user or an investor, these kind of opportunities are interesting and they could make for good returns over time. On your question on deals and pricing, what we are seeing is the southern markets, particularly Hyderabad, has seen relatively much better price appreciation in the last 6 months, right? So prices have been rising by barely 1 or 2% in the last 3 years. But in the last 6 months, we have seen between a 4 to 6% price increases across different micro markets of Hyderabad. Okay, so Anuj, I'll just bring you back in on this. Again, so should one be looking at primarily some of the southern markets, the one that Sudhir was talking about, whether it's Hyderabad or Bengaluru, because that's where price appreciation is already evident?
Clearly, Surabhi, I would not go north. I'm still reluctant, and I would love to hear what Samir has to say. I still think there is a lot of investor stock left in north in the NCR market, and until that depletes, until the investors sell that out, I do not see the price rise happening. I am a big fan of South India markets, whether it's Bangalore and Hyderabad, perhaps less Chennai today. The reason for that is there's a huge amount of job creation that is happening. And that's where we are seeing the uptake on the residential demand, absorption, and hopefully that will result into a price appreciation coming through. So you're absolutely right that I would, if I'm an investor, I would look at Bangalore and Hyderabad more carefully than some of the other markets across India.
Okay, Samir, so now let's toss this in your court.
I'm a big fan of the Mumbai market, really, because that's the only market I find to be having a demand-supply mismatch in favor of demand. And with the prices having been stable and having gone down in that micro market, in that city perhaps, and many micro markets over there, I think that would play out for an investor much better than the other cities across the country, especially the tier ones. Coming to the south, I feel that there is a large amount of supply that has to hit the market in 2018 and 2019. For example, Bangalore is going to witness 3x more supply than what has been witnessed in the last 3 years. And that is predominantly an end user market. So I'm going to not really recommend south to be a market where you could see appreciation in the short term, which would be say 1 to 2 years at least. Coming to the north, there are certain pockets which are really at an all-time low. Case in point, for example, if you were to look at the Noida Expressway, I know there is a huge amount of oversupply in that market, but the price points have now started to touch 3,500-3,800 rupees for a ready property. Now, if you keep a 5 to 7 year horizon over there, I think you could see, what Sudhir said, that you could see a 10% compounded annualized growth over a 5 to 7 year period. Or for example, if you looked at Dwarka Expressway, where you could buy a ready property as low as 4,500 rupees a square feet. 5 years from now, you could see that price point being about 8,000, 8,500 rupees a square foot, because there is no new supply that's going to come. There are about 25,000 units that will get completed, and once the infrastructure starts to kick in over there and the social infrastructure starts to come about, the price is bound to go up to realistic levels, which is about a 7,500 to 8,000.
Sure.
So if you're an investor, a long-term investor, you could see opportunities in some pockets in the north. Mumbai, of course, I think is going to do very well because of the demand-supply mismatch, and also the new airport coming around in Navi Mumbai region. So that could create a big fill-up for the Navi Mumbai area, and south would be my third choice, really.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we need to take a very quick break on that note. Final leg of the conversation coming up on the other side. The budget is around the corner. Is the real estate sector expecting any more SOPs? And what about affordable housing? The conversation continues on the other side.
Welcome to Gabon, an African hub that is a gateway to the region. More than 40 years of institutional stability driving the business environment. Established special economic zones, world-class ports and infrastructure facilities. We are open for investments. Gabon calling.
Bado, bado, bado mere saath. Bado, bado, bado mere saath. Bado, 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 bado.
कुछ इसी तरह बच्चों के साथ साथ बढ़ते हैं LIC के चिल्ड्रंस प्लान, जो दे आकर्षक भुगतान बच्चों की हर बढ़ती अवस्था में।
Attic fittings make your furniture work beautifully. German quality you can trust.
कैसे करूं यकीन आँखों पर कहूं? True that. He's eating like tomorrow ho na ho. You think he's binging like this her time? Must be, but he looks too young. He looks too young. He looks too young.
Morning, afternoon ho, evening ho या night. Every time you see him, he's having a bite.
क्योंकि too young सिर्फ tasty नहीं है. It's filled with goodness. It's not fried. It's baked. Eat anytime, anywhere, as much. Eat lot, fikr not.
It's a very lovely initiative and we're pretty happy that people are supporting it and encouraging it. Small steps you can take to contribute to the environment and keeping your surroundings clean is being conscious of how you dump your waste. The easiest thing is to have 2 different dustbins in the house, and they're definitely inculcating that habit into your staff. So I think that is the first and foremost thing we have to learn and inculcate in our citizens.
Get up front.
Baby. But you can't put your spell on me. Put your spell on me. No, no.
The new luxurious TUV 300.
India's gem and gold jewelry industry came together for the first ever industry summit in New Delhi. Watch episode 2 of DJ EPC India Gold and Jewelry Summit at these times only on CNBC TV 18.
Presented by DJ EPC.
Welcome to Gabon, an African hub that is a gateway to the region. More than 40 years of institutional stability driving the business environment. Established special economic zones, world-class ports and infrastructure facilities. We are open for investment. Gabon Golly.
Welcome back. You're watching Money, 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 and this is the property market special. All our experts agree that 2018 could be a very interesting year. If you do want to get in, if you have a longish holding period, and if you are not going to be extremely your own personal balance sheet to go ahead and make that real estate investment. Anuj, let me ask you about affordable housing. You know, there is so much of buzz that a lot of people are wondering whether this could also be an interesting investment opportunity. How do you look at this? And related question, I mean, any more budget SOPs expected for this segment or generally for the property sector?
So 2 very quick things. One, Surbhi, that it had been spoken a lot about the Prime Minister when this government came into power in 2014. We're actually seeing it happen today. So 3 or 4 years it has taken, but it is really happening by a lot of the premium luxury developers who have now got into affordable housing across the country. We're seeing that. So it is for real. Whether the investor is going to be able to make money on this, I am not so sure. I still think it is an end-user product, not an investor product, because the SOPs that are being provided by the government are to the people whose income are below a certain threshold. And as an investor, you lose those SOPs and perhaps it doesn't become that attractive. Going forward on the budget, there are a lot of asks. But one ask that I would say is on behalf of the community is that GST at 12% under construction is really a killer. And, you know, it needs to be relooked at. You know, given that on completion there is no GST and under construction 12%, I think it is really hurting the under construction market.
Okay, fair enough. Either we keep hearing a lot more. One keeps hearing that maybe there could be some kind of taxation changes even on finished properties. Don't know, so let's not speculate on that. But Sudhir, your thoughts? Anything fresh expected from the government? And a quick note on affordable housing as well.
I think the government has been championing the cause of affordable housing and housing for all for the last few years, and what we're hearing is increased allocations for the CLSS segment. We have heard talk on that in the last few months. So it wouldn't be surprising if the government actually allocates larger resources to cover a larger number of beneficiaries in the budget in the affordable segment.
Okay, so time now for the last word, and we're going to crystallize it down to just one line. And, you know, Samir, I'm going to start with you. As Anuj mentioned at the beginning, 2017 was a phenomenal year for real estate stocks. You would have made a killing, and who would have thought, right? Now, what about 2018? Would you rather buy realty stocks, or would you rather buy the physical asset? And if yes, then your top pick.
So I would take my bet actually more on the equities if I'm a pure investor. But having said that, from a 5-year point of view, because stock markets are really running very high, if I'm a long-term investor today, I feel real estate would be much better than real estate stocks if I have a 5-year view.
Okay, brilliant. So again, 10 seconds each. Quick last word from Anuj and from Sudhir. Anuj, same question. So if you can make an investment now, and fine, I won't confine you to the pick for 2018. If you're looking at a 5-year real estate pick, which micro market, what sort of investment?
So I would certainly do Navi Mumbai. Sameer also said that. I would certainly do Hyderabad and Bangalore. Still skeptic about NCR.
Okay, fair enough. Last word with you, Sudhir. Same question. Your pick for real estate investments, not just 2018, but stretching that to 5 years.
I think I'd go with Hyderabad, followed by Navi Mumbai, Bombay, then followed by Bangalore and Pune, and NCR and Chennai probably at the end.
Okay, there you go. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Our viewers have plenty of options to choose from and a lot of food for thought. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us valuable insights on real estate, the look ahead for 2018. That's it on this week's episode. Your feedback, comments, queries, welcome. As always, we'll see you again next week.